While there's no one-size-fits-all solution to the problem of homelessness, we can all still make a difference by offering assistance to those who are most in need. In 2022, with initial funding the City Council designated for this purpose, the San Diego Housing Commission created the Multidisciplinary Outreach Program to help support the Community Action Plan on Homelessness for the City of San Diego. This team works directly with individuals and families among the most vulnerable experiencing unsheltered homelessness. I'm thrilled to announce today that I have secured $750,000 for the San Diego Housing Commission Multidisciplinary Outreach Team so they can continue providing connections to shelter and specialized support services such as behavioral and primary care resources. These funds will significantly expand their efforts to help individuals and families experiencing homelessness find permanent and long-term housing. I'd like to thank PATH and Father Joe's Villages, as well as the nurses, clinical outreach specialists, and counselors for their commitment to the Multidisciplinary Outreach Program.
Assemblymember Mainshine not only is delivering for San Diego, but he's delivering on the biggest issue facing San Diego right now, which is our homelessness crisis. For Brian to go to Sacramento in a difficult budget year and be able to actually bring back a substantial amount of funding to help us address our homelessness crisis is very, very meaningful. He shares my assessment and that of our council president that this is the biggest issue in our city and we need to act accordingly. I want to say to San Diegans this morning that we know what ends homelessness. Housing ends homelessness. But getting folks into housing is not possible without talented outreach workers who go out and actually make contact with individuals and help get them into care, help them to address the underlying causes of their homelessness, and get them housed permanently. These essential workers fan out across the city, doing the truly hard work of developing long-term relationships with folks who live on our streets, building the trust and the rapport that hopefully will get them to accept the help that we'd like to offer to them. I've heard from many outreach workers over the years that they live by the motto that today's no could be tomorrow's yes. And I know they live out that ethic every single day by going out time and again until they can get that yes, until they can get that bed filled, until they can get folks on their way to permanent housing. I'm truly grateful for the workers who are here today, who are a small representation of the over 50 folks who do this work every single day in our city. A reminder that the City of San Diego launched our Coordinated Street Outreach Program back in 2021. It proved so successful that we quickly expanded it. And then, as the Assembly member mentioned, the City Council, led by our Council President, Sean Elo Rivera, added to these efforts by funding the San Diego Housing Commission to create the Multidisciplinary Outreach Program. These folks are largely representative of two important organizations, PATH, People Assisting the Homeless, and of course backed up by Father Joe's Villages. I want to thank both of these organizations who are important partners in our overall homelessness response system, not only providing outreach, but also providing shelter and other coordinated care efforts that, again, help get thousands of people off the streets each and every year right here in San Diego. I also want to express my gratitude to the San Diego Housing Commission. The Housing Commission has been a wonderful support to the City of San Diego. We work extremely well together, and because we work well together, I think is a part of why Assemblymember Mainshine was able to convince his colleagues in the legislature and the governor to actually provide this additional funding.
We must take every opportunity and use every available tool to address our homelessness crisis. Whether that means making it easier to build more housing, creating more shelter, homelessness prevention, or improving our outreach. Ultimately, our homelessness crisis is a humanitarian crisis. Making meaningful progress in addressing that crisis requires a human-centered approach to meet people's unique needs, especially those who are struggling the most. Thankfully, we can do that by building on the knowledge that we've gained from past work. In our 2022-23 budget, the City Council included funding in our budget to create a multidisciplinary outreach team to improve our outreach to unsheltered residents and better address the people who need more attention than others. We've all seen it on the streets, folks who are not okay. It breaks our heart, and if we're being honest, it can sometimes make many of us feel uncomfortable and sometimes even unsafe. The idea was that by dedicating more specialized support and resources to those with the most challenging mental health problems, it could provide outreach workers more time and resources to do their job of building relationships with more homeless people and get them off the streets. I want to reiterate that. There's a multitude of wins here. There's a specialized care and attention that those who need it will receive, but also the ability that is freed up for our outreach workers to get out and reach more people. We know that there's folks on our streets right now who, as a result of necessity, end up having dozens and sometimes hundreds of interactions with our emergency rooms, our police departments, our fire department. They need help, and they are also overwhelming our resources. Specialized care can and will make a difference. It takes all of us working together in many different ways, creative and innovative ways, always centering the human needs of the people who are impacted if we're going to succeed in our goal of solving homelessness.